Hello, I'm Vanessa and this is Adam, and together we are doing a video. You can find us on Twitch and on YouTube.
This video is the top 5 things we wish we knew when we started playing the ICARUS Beta.
ICARUS is a player versus environment game developed by Rocketworks in New Zealand. ICARUS drops you on a remote alien planet after terraforming efforts have gone horribly wrong.
Your goal is to survive long enough to mine exotic matter and return to orbit in order to craft more advanced technologies. It's a session-based game, so you need to explore the planet and grab as much as you can before the session timer ends. You're either back on the ship when it ends, or you're left behind.
Tip number 1, you need to eat, drink and breathe in order to survive. In the bottom left are your stats which show your levels of these.
For your hunger bar, a great early source is berries, which you can collect off bushes by harvesting. You can consume one by clicking on it, or you can right-click and click Consume All.
Oxygen. This is the blue stone called oxite. You can put it in your helmet, which helps out a lot very early game. Later on, you can make an oxidizer, which completely fills your oxygen bar.
For the water, you're going to want to find yourself a lake. You can increase your water intake by eating berries. So you can see here we're about halfway. You consume a stack, it does go up. But if you drink directly from a water source, it'll fill it to 100%.
Tip number 2 is harvesting. In the early game, this is by far the easiest way to level up and unlock new tech. You do this just by walking around spamming F, and you collect sticks, rocks, fibers, and berries, which, as we mentioned earlier, you can use for food and water. And the sticks and fibers can be used to craft tools, which lead us to tip number 3.
Check out the menus. Press tab to bring it up and take a look at what you can craft. You can unlock new technology using tech points as you level up. We always go for the axe, knife, and pickaxe first, as it allows you to gather resources more quickly. The talent menu allows you to use talent points to unlock personal upgrades. It's broken down into resources, exploration, hunting, and cooking/farming. We highly recommend skilled picker first, as it increases your harvest yield.
Tip number 4 is hunting. Now, we got this footage from one of our Twitch VODs, so that's why you can see our cute bunny cam in the bottom left. So when you kill an animal, you can click F to take its resources. You will get some bones, and you can use these for crafting. But if you then hit the skeleton, you can increase your yield of bones. Further away from spawn, the animals have more HP, they're harder to kill. We have found that bears are common around water due to some deaths, and they can swim, and they can also climb up sheer drops.
Tip number 5, build a base. You've got to build a base because, as the game devs say, the storms have brutal damage mechanics.
We chose to build ours close to water because in beta the ship is rarely used, whereas you always need water.
We carry spare floors and walls with us in order to build a real quick shelter. You can throw one up really quickly to protect yourself from the storms.
When building, press R if you want to add in a door or a window or an arch. There's lots of options. We had to build a thatch door because we built our base out of wood, but we hadn't yet unlocked the wooden door, so we just quickly gathered some fibre and made a thatch door.
To better reinforce your base, you can use beams. So when the storm hits, it causes some real big damage to your base. So what you need to do is get yourself some beams, go around your shelter and put beams on every corner. You have to be a little bit careful and make sure the beams go all the way to the floor. So you can see here, this side of the shelter isn't quite touching the floor, so we just put a little beam underneath just to ensure full contact, which gives us a bit more stability on the shelter.
That guy was loving it. Obviously, it's a good base.
The storms will destroy your base no matter where it is.
We thought we could beat the system by building it in a cave, and it did work with minor storms, but the lightning still got us.
No! Oh, Jesus!
No!